Snap Podcast. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It is your boy DarnellSparrow, yo bad Superman, and you already know who he is, the notorious Antoine Smooth. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yes, we coming at you live on YouTube, on Spotify, Rumble,
Rumble,
your mama house, your homeboy
yeah,
house,
still mama house,
stepmama house, play cousin, wherever.
hey, wherever.
You tuning in and listening to us. Now, I originally was gonna do the Impact Wrestling Victory Road in episode 1000 prediction show, but just like Martin Lawrence said, Gina, they called me.
Mm-hmm.
They called me and said, you know what, we got questions for you. So I was like, did that mean you want us to do a Q&A? They said, yes. Can you do a Q&A? So I said, you know what, I'm going to do a Q&A. And I'm looking at these questions. One of them I'm actually impressed with. I'm going to kick it off with that.
Okay.
Because they talking about the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a list of people that's not in the Hall of Fame that should be in it.
Okay.
And they put a lot of names on here. And some of them we definitely need to talk about.
Okay.
So let's go through them. First off, Brian Pillman.
Of course. Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
Demolition.
Yes.
Powers of Pain.
Always reigning three-time tag team champions. Yes.
We got the Powers of Pain.
Oh, now I understand they was in the NWA at first, right?
Yeah. Right.
It was in the NWA. Did they even win tag belts?
I believe they were a six-man tag.
Six-man tag.
Well, they were
okay.
six-man, and I believe the Warlord was there first.
The Warlord was there for the Barbarian came over there. Okay. I like the team personally. Me personally. Everybody talking about Road Warrior knockoffs. No, there wasn't. Demolition definitely wasn't.
Right.
So, yeah, those guys, I like those big power guys like the Road Warriors and Power Play. For their time, with Mr. Fuji and all that, and when Fuji turned on Demolition, I actually like that, him going to the Powers of Pain. But, I mean, they was intimidating. I wish it was longer.
Yeah, that's what did it for
That's
me.
the problem.
And then,
that's the only problem with me. They didn't last long.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So we could scratch. So I don't see. We could scratch them off. All right. Slick.
Oh man, of course. The Twin Towers was the integral part of the Mega Powers breaking up.
Yes.
They were an integral part of that. And then of course he's a great manager anyway. When he first got there, he managed Nikolai and Iron Sheik, two of the most hated wrestlers at that time.
Yes.
Caused a lot of heat. So
he should just get in the Hall of Fame just off of Jive Soul Bro alone.
Jive Soul Bro, yeah.
Excuse me.
We never seen a black manager.
No, not with that much swag.
Not with that, yeah.
Because I'm about to say he was swag before swag was even a thing.
Swag was right. So most definitely.
And you knew you had something with Jesse Ventura liked. Every time you saw him, he said, "Look at Slick, get down."
Yeah, even I had to quote John Cena. He said, "If you got a doctorate in style, that that says a lot. When you have a doctorate in style." Yeah. So
he definitely gonna win. Zeus.
For the time, I say yeah. For the time, No Holds Barred was a big deal.
Yeah, for the celebrity wing, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Not only was that in the movie, but they actually put it on television.
They bought it when they bought it the Saturday night's main event.
They had that only feud with Hogan teaming with Beefcake against Savage and Zeus.
Yep, and so he debuted on Saturday night's main event. I believe Hogan was fighting the big boss man in the cage.
Yeah.
And Zeus was just standing there. That was, I mean, he brought the movie to real life.
Right.
And it worked. And on top of that, you put him with Savage.
put him with Savage. They're two crazy individuals.
Them promos were classic.
Yeah, they had the little front cage in front of them.
Yep.
Zeus was trying to shake the cage, and Sherry was all facing the cage, and
And what I used to like about Zeus, he no-sold almost everything Hogan. Every time he got hit, he was smiling.
He was smiling every time. Even Savage slapped Zeus, and he didn't do nothing.
Nope.
So Zeus didn't attack him. He was just smiling.
He just had what? He had the choke, them little pounds to the back, the bear hug.
Yeah. It was so much they even put him in 2K23.
Yes, and they nailed it too.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. He definitely is in there.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Absolutely. You talk about the cornerstone of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. She was a part of that. Girls just want to have fun. Even though, that was supposed to be the women's anthem, everybody don't know that Captain Lou Albano was in that video playing her dad.
And that was very rare back then.
And it was rare, exactly.
Putting wrestlers in your music videos.
Right. And then she managed Wendy Richter for a little bit. Was an integral part of that.
Yeah, but of her winning the title.
Yeah, at the first ever WrestleMania.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I got one for you. I got Bill Dundee.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. He not only everybody know him as a Memphis legend. Absolutely. If he was in the Memphis Hall of Fame, he's the first one. Him and Jerry Long.
Yeah, because he was good, especially in Memphis. Integral part in the NWA, wrestler, manager.
Right.
He was small, but he was good.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say he's part of the reasons why Jerry Lawler who he is, because of that feud.
And Bill Dundee.
Hercules.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Who that?
Hercules.
So now, okay, let's go back. We're going to go back to when he was Hercules Hernandez.
Yes.
We're going to go back to when he was in Mid-South.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
He was Hercules Hernandez. The big body guy, big muscle guy.
He was definitely more vicious.
He was more vicious as Hercules Hernandez.
Yes.
Now, when he was just Hercules, he wasn't as vicious.
Yeah, he was a mid-card.
Hercules Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah, he was watered down. They turned him. Then they tried to turn him baby face.
Turned him to like an actual Greek Hercules. Yeah.
And then they bought him with Power and Glory.
Yeah, that's the one that really stood out for me.
Now,
I'll give him that.
Now, when he became what was it, the Super Ninja in WCW?
The Super Ninja, the Super Destroyer, whatever.
Well, the Super Destroyer wanted him, and you could tell it was him because look at the body.
The body, right.
Well, I knew it's still that coughing, but we had got some work done here. We're still trying to get all the air out, so forgive me for the coughing. I ain't got the Rona or nothing like that. Rick Martel.
Yeah, Rick Martel, definitely. Let's go back to the AWA Rick. Heavyweight champion.
And he was very young.
Very young at the time.
Then he was part of the Can-Am connection.
Part of the Can-Am connection.
Which got reformed the Strike Force.
Strike Force. He really hit his peak when he became the model.
Oh, when he became the model, it was over.
It was over with. And I know your favorite was that button he used to have on.
No, my favorite was my favorite was the original arrogance that looked like a can of bug spray.
Oh, I thought it was the button.
No, it was that original can of with that big can of bug spray. Which, by the way, they should at least sold that.
They should have sold that. Yeah, it just could have been water.
Yeah, or at least been empty. I'm like, I would have bought that. That deal, that original can of when he blinded Jake the Snake with.
Right, and he actually made a commercial out that says "arrogance for men."
All them vignettes were classic.
Oh, yes.
I'm just shocked they never put. They should have put. I'm saying this. They should have put the Intercontinental title on him when he fought Razor.
I agree. Razor could have had plenty of time to win that belt. Yeah. Martel could have held that for a little bit, then Razor could have got it off.
He was out for a while, came back to the WCW, won the TV belt, had a
Yeah.
good feud with Booker and Fit
Yep.
Finley.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely
Oh, this,
Montez.
this this is a no-brainer. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, come on. Who have you ever seen a big man cartwheel? Big man can moonsault. You know,
A big man that
Everybody-
can play a heel and a face.
and a baby face.
Perfectly.
Just by his look alone was intimidating. You didn't have to put nothing on him.
No.
All he had to do was give you that look, and then had that tattooed head with the flames on it. That's it.
Why is he not in the Hall of Fame now? I'll never
I don't
understand that.
Right. Hey, Bam Bam ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Now, here's one. Now, this one, I'm going to give you two options. Same guy, but two options.
Okay.
Bruce Pritchard or Brother Love.
I want to say Brother Love, because not only that he managed to take it in his debut, right, but you know those vignettes he had were classic.
Oh, them Brother Love shows?
Brother Love shows
With the
classic.
red fella like he was in the tanning bed too long?
Right.
With the white suit with the Jimmy Swagger background music?
Right. Music, yeah. Talking about how he loved everybody, but he really was with the villains more than baby faces.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase was his benefactor.
Benefactor, yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was classic. D. Malenko.
Oh man, come on, man. Really? The most technical wrestler I've seen in a long time. They ain't calling the man of 1,000 holes for nothing.
Now I would say this:
Absolutely.
WCW D. Malenko, yes.
Yeah,
WWE D. Malenko, no.
No.
When they put that,
They tried to make him something else.
I knew something was wrong when they gave him that ladies man gimmick.
Yeah. I said, yeah, they tried to put a gimmick. You can't put a gimmick on D.
Nope. Dynamite Kid.
Oh, yeah. One of the greatest tag teams ever, the British Bulldogs. Now, yeah, absolutely. I seen it.
Dynamite. Let me tell you something about Dynamite Kid. Dynamite Kid was so smooth in the ring.
Yeah, he was vicious too.
And like I said, he was another one. He wasn't a big dude. He was in great shape, but he can go.
Yeah.
I might say, if you watch Chris Benoit matches, for those who still do, he wrestled the exact same way.
Because I was about to say, this is before the Bulldogs. When he was in Stampede.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Haku.
Man, come on, man. Haku. Yeah, absolutely. Man, the stories that I've heard about this man, they talk about you would want him in a fight.
Not at all.
They said one of the toughest guys. I mean, King Haku. We'll go back to what
Go back to the Islanders.
The Islanders.
I'm saying they made him king. And you can get and Ming.
Him and Barbarian were the faces of fear.
Yeah, Ming. Yeah, Ming was definitely.
Haku. Yeah.
Definitely tough.
Yeah. They said you want him in a fight.
Let's see.
They said he tough.
I'm gonna get to some of them. I'm gonna stop because some of them are obvious. Like Jim Cornette, obvious. Lex Luger, obvious. Lillian Garcia.
Now, for her, singing and stuff like that, the national anthem and all that. And then she the only thing she had was her and the Rock did something. That little one segment.
Yeah, that was fun, but hell of a ring announcer.
Yeah, she's a ring announcer. She's a singer. I think they'll put her in there just because she was part of the company. And she sung the national anthem and all these other stuff. So yeah, I could see now in their case, yeah.
Now was a good one, but we're gonna have to break this one down. And because they didn't specify who, but we gotta break this down. But I thought it was a good one. The Nation of Domination.
The whoever was, you talking about the entire group?
No, they didn't. Now they didn't specify.
The Savio Vega version,
Now,
or the one with the with Mark Henry and D-Lo.
now see, that was the thing. They didn't specify. That's why I said we're gonna have to break this down. Now, when I think Nation of Domination, I think Farouk, Crush, Savio, D-Lo, Mark Henry, and Common. When I think the Nation, I think Rock, Owen, Godfather, Mark Henry.
Yeah, they took the domination part out, right? And they were just the Nation. Okay. I want to say more domination than the Nation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious.
Yeah, he's. I mean, look at his credentials. You know, he's a former WWE champion.
Yep, multiple times WCW champion, United States champion.
Yeah. Him and Spivey, you know, they were the
skyscrapers.
Yeah, they were the originals for me and Mark came in.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, of course, he was instrumental. As a matter of fact, who thought he would be Shawn Michaels in the peak of his career? And powerbomb and win the belt.
And everybody know that should have been Vader.
Exactly.
Now here's a good one. Now this one a lot of the youngins probably don't know. And they should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. Because they were way ahead of their time, especially for female wrestlers. The Jumping Bomb Angels.
Yeah. We saw them at the Survivor Series. They're mostly feuded with the Glamour Girls, Lilani Kai, Judy Martin.
Yep. I said they were way ahead of their time. Why are they not in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And then when they beat the Glamour Girls for the titles, that was a big deal.
Right. Because that was unheard of. Right.
I mean, them girls were good.
Dude, I got another one for you. Bull Nakano.
Oh, absolutely.
Bull Nakano, I saw her early stuff. This is before her and Medusa was feuding.
Oh, Bull Nakano was a beast.
She feuded. She teamed up a lot with Dump Matsumoto. Yes, that's her name. Her name was Dump Matsumoto.
That sounds like a Japanese version of CB4.
Right. Her name was Dump Matsumoto. Her and Lilani Kai.
With her tag team partner, Stab Master Austin.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah.
Now here's one a lot of people argue with me on. But they don't know the credentials like we know her. Mm-hmm. But she definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Woman.
Now, let me tell y'all something about she was my second crush as a kid. My first was Missy Hyatt when she was in World Class with Hollywood John Tatum.
Yes.
That Missy Hyatt, the John Tatum Missy. Okay? Now, Woman was my second crush. Before she was, I didn't want to like her as Robin. I liked her as Woman.
Yeah, when they did that switch, because she was like real nerdy and geeky, but when they went to that hotel and Rick opened that door, and he saw that, I'm like, and there it is.
Right, and when she was managing Doom, that woman. And then later on in her career,
when she went to ECW,
she was still my crush then.
Because Woman was in the game for a minute. Back to Florida days when she was married to Kevin Sullivan.
Right. But when she gave you that look, it was a wrap.
Yes. And that look was that look like she's gonna do something, but it was still sexy. And she rarely spoke.
Right.
And then when how she used to always just touch on Mean Gene when Flair had her.
Right.
And then, but I think she real when her and Benoit got together.
That was it. Yeah.
Especially with Kevin. See, Kevin Sullivan. I gotta give Kevin Sullivan was bold for that.
Yeah, he was.
You tried to make a storyline real, and it ended up getting too real.
Get too real, and it became one of our favorite matches. If I can speak for us,
Yes.
On that Great American Bash, when they had to be in the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, that was. You can't tell me that match, that strap match they had, that tag team strap match they had.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't tell me some of that was real.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, someone can't get mad at you. You put your woman, no pun intended.
Right.
You put it out there. You said you wanted it to look real. Oh, it looked real, all right. Then you actually had them together without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You took this fine woman with Chris Benoit, not bad looking man. Come on, and this the wrestling business. And Delvin, you've been in the game long enough to know better.
Yeah, he ended up married.
If Chris Benoit didn't get none, I would have been like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right. He ain't got a kid by him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Yep, and there you go. Now, let's get some more questions. Here's a good question. Now, since we back on the questions, who had the better world title run in 1990? Sting or the Ultimate Warrior?
That is a good question.
And if I had
let's break this down.
Well, if I had, and I'm gonna give you my answer right off the top. Now I'll break it down for you. If I had to choose, I would say the Ultimate Warrior did. And the reason why Ultimate Warrior had more, especially the fact they had Saturday Night's Main Event. That was one thing. Then he had the match with Rude. He had the match with Rude.
At SummerSlam 90. Yep.
I say he beat Hogan.
Beat Hogan.
He was more high profile with the title, and the way he lost it was in a high profile match.
Right. He lost to Sergeant Slaughter at the Royal Rumble in 91. Yeah.
Sting, when he won the belt, he had that ridiculous. He fought Sid.
Yeah.
He fought. I remember him fight. He had that ridiculous feud with the Black Scorpion, and that went way too long.
Right.
And then you fought Black Flair.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah.
And he lost the title at a house show.
At a house show, yeah. Sting, he's not known for holding titles long, which is sad to me. You know, because he was originally supposed to win the belt at Wrestle War. But the thing was, his knee. You know, when he would climb the cage and somebody grabbed his knee, he tore his knee out. That's why everybody like, well, why Sting didn't win it earlier? That's where Luger came in. Luger had the matches with Flair at Wrestle War.
Combat.
Right. Combat 90. And they were good matches. That's why Luger was in there, because Sting was hurt. He was supposed to win it earlier. It took the Great American Bash for him to finally win the belt. But it was supposed to be a match of him at Wrestle War, but his knee, they just tore his knee out. That's where Luger stepped in. Yeah. The Wrestle Wars, the Capital Combats. I think they had one more match at the Clash. I think, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really like when Sting. And when Sting won the title, like I said, when Sting lost the title, you know that house show nobody knew about.
Nobody knew about it.
And he lost a few of his titles like that. Because I remember when he beat Vader when they were overseas. I have that show. I have both shows when he won the title and he lost it the next night. They were in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean the quality sucks on it, but I have them on video.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. But
That's
See, you have to break those down. And to get an idea. So yeah, the Warrior did have a better run.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Why do you think Hulk Hogan never became at least a Triple Crown champion?
Oh man, that's a good question. Man, these questions are really good.
I can answer that real easy. He didn't need to.
All he was doing was putting butts in seats.
Yep, he didn't need to. Hulkamania was big on its own, even when he wasn't champion.
Mm-hmm.
He was still big. He was still bigger than the champion. He still drew more than the champion.
And think about this. We're going to go back to SummerSlam 9. Hogan and Earthquake. That's when, Earthquake took him out.
Right.
That match, they talked about, that was bigger than the Warrior Rude match.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was in a cage.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, that was easy. He didn't need to be. I didn't think he wanted to be. I'm still shocked he won a tag belt. Way later in his career.
Yeah, so that told me right there that Hulkamania, even though the Warrior was the champion, Hogan was still bigger than him without the belt.
Yep. Why could they put? You know why?
So that told me he didn't need it.
You know why? Yeah. Because they put the stronger heels to Hogan.
Yeah.
Yep. Hogan got the stronger heels.
Like the Dino Bravos and the Earthquakes.
You pretty much got everybody in the Bobby Heenan family. He got the bigger heels.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Your thoughts on Gunther breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
I knew it was going to happen. That was going to happen because he's been a great Intercontinental Champion, probably one of the best I've seen. I mean, you could look at, he represents that title well. I mean, I had no problem with it.
And let me tell you this, it needed to be broken.
It needs, yeah.
That's one of those. Now that's one of those streets I would say needed to be broken. I mean, they put the right guy in that position.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely glad he did it, and I don't think, and to be honest, I don't think nobody's gonna break it after that.
Oh no.
I don't see it being broken. Well, we said that about Honky Tonk Man because there was that period was nobody wasn't holding titles long.
Now that was what 30 years ago.
Yep. Nobody wasn't holding titles like that.
Yeah. But I like what Triple H doing. See, he giving folks lengthy runs. I'm talking about years.
Yeah, but at least 6 months or more, depending on who you are and how you drawing.
He done gave Roman 3 years. Yeah. Are you talking about he close to Bruno's record?
Yeah, but he getting there.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. What should the LWO do different to get over better?
It's Sano turn heel. Let the LWO be heel.
Yep, I would say a couple things. I would say, one, get rid of Cruz Del Toro and Joaquin Wild. Number one. Add Carlito.
Mm-hmm.
And go get Chavo as like the voice. Since Eddie's not around, go get Chavo.
Yeah.
And kick Ray out.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen now.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
It's all story now, but yeah.
I thought it was gonna happen at the last pay-per-view.
The payback.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna happen at Payback. I'm like, damn, they let him win, and he beat Austin Theory clean.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, this is a two-parter. We're gonna start with the first part. Why should Becky Lynch win the NXT Women's title?
Because first of all, she never won it, so that just be another notch in her belt. And won't she be a Grand Slam?
Yeah.
if she wins it, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Charlotte did it,
Yeah, see,
but they
Charlotte,
don't recognize it for some reason.
which
But she
I
did.
still don't understand that, because if they add that, she already be 16.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they what they did for a minute,
Right.
and
Dolph Ziggler. We didn't expect Dolph Ziggler to win that NXT title, but it happened.
yeah,
So I don't see why Becky should win.
okay. On the flip side of that, why shouldn't she win it?
Um, I mean, she don't need. I mean, to be honest, she can win it just for a notch, just for her career purpose. But other than that, she really don't need it. When she over,
Why?
there's
Cause,
no purpose.
and I
But
one,
it will be some new challenges for
why,
her.
one of the reasons why I think she should win, because it'll be expected.
Right. I mean, she can wrestle like the Roxannes and the Tiffany Strattons.
But what I could see happening, I could see her winning the match, but not winning the title.
Yeah.
I could see her getting screwed some kind of way. At least that way, I can keep her strong.
Yeah. I could see her there for a little while. Feuding with people like Kiana James and
I wouldn't be surprised.
Blair Davenport. I wouldn't mind seeing her and Blair Davenport.
Don't be surprised if Trish Stratus show up in NXT and screw her. That'll be huge.
That'll be a first for Trish.
Right. That'll be huge.
That'd be huge, yeah. You have somebody like that in NXT, I can see, once again, Trish and Tiffany, Trish and Blair Davenport,
Yeah, all that young
Roxanne, especially with her and Roxanne.
Yeah, all that young talent.
Yeah. I can definitely see her and Roxanne against each other.
Let's see what we got. Thoughts on Jey Uso moving to Raw?
I didn't expect it. I know they were gonna go separate ways like that, but they kind of making this obvious. I don't mind it. The Usos accomplished everything pretty much. Let's see how they do, solo. That they got, and your boy Scrap Daddy.
Yep.
Announced that, so since you here, we trade somebody to SmackDown.
Now I'm glad you.
I wonder who that could
Right.
be.
Now I'm glad you brought that up. That was another part of the question. If it's not who we think it is, who should it be?
It's somebody got to be top notch. I'm talking about top notch.
I have two people on the brain. If it's not Cody, I'll predict one of two people. Kevin Owens or Damian Priest. Now, I want you to keep in mind, he never said when the trade is going in effect.
Yeah.
He said in the future.
In the future.
So they can play around with this to a point where we pretty much forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to.
Yeah. They're like, they traded for real. Yeah.
But I like the fact that they did finally separate the Usos. Because I think they really want to push Jay more than they want to push Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because when your nickname is main event,
That's it. Yeah.
that you don't just get a name like that and then start losing.
Right. And then on Jimmy's side, he's throwing up the one. Now, is he trying to get back in the bloodline?
Yeah, but that's another thing. We don't know, what role he playing.
Right. But he's facing AJ on SmackDown Friday. So we'll see what goes on there.
Most definitely. Now that the Judgment Day have all the titles, do they really need J.D. McDonough?
I mean, not really, but I since he got in the kind of got in the good graces of him now, it's giving Damien, the purple senior money in the bank.
And
I think they're considering it.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I had an epiphany about that briefcase. No, it's not the girl I dated in '92. She was a little on the big side, but she was cute though.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, it's gonna be something about that briefcase. Damian Priest gonna get screwed. I mean, in my Sophia Petrillo voice, picture it.
No contract in it.
He's gonna cash in, win the match.
But
there's no contract in the briefcase. Finn Balor screws him, and he wins the title.
Yeah. This is all part of a plan, him and JD.
All part of plan. That's how I think Damian Priest getting kicked out the Judgment Day.
That brief, see, I knew it. He giving him another briefcase. This personalized briefcase. I said something's up.
And they never switched the contracts over.
He didn't pick, open it up and put it in the other. No. Like you said, he gonna cash it in, win it. Realize there's no contract in there.
And if they don't pull it off like that, it'll be stupid. Let's see. What stopped Richie Steamboat from being a big name? And for those who don't know who I'm talking about, as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's son.
Injuries. Simple.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
That dude was a star in the making. That dude was good.
Right.
He just could not stay healthy.
That man was made out of glass. Yeah.
Cheap glass.
Cheap glass at that, yeah.
Glass so cheap, if you touch it with your finger, it's gonna crack.
Yeah. I mean, his arm drag was second to none.
Yes, and he was quick, looked just like it did. He was quick.
Yeah.
He was a star in the making. FCW had something special in him.
Yeah.
And I really think, had he stayed healthy, he would have been a big star in NXT. Of course, he would have been on the main roster by now, because that was way years ago. And that's when pretty much NXT was just really, trying to find his legs.
Yeah.
He would have been a huge part of that. Now this next question was funny. I saw this, I was like, I gotta ask this one. I gotta do this question. Who was your favorite wrestler in the Pro Wrestling Nintendo game?
Oh my goodness.
And yes, somebody really asked that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this here. There was only one black wrestler with blonde hair in this. That was Giant Panther.
Yep.
Okay. You had King Slender, that was Ric Flair, obviously. You could tell by the hair. The Amazon. Now I'm gonna say this. Star, everybody gonna say Starman.
Oh yes.
But I'm gonna say Giant Panther.
Okay.
Because we didn't seen a black a wrestler with blonde hair besides Butch Reed when he was a natural.
Yep, because you had Fighter Hayabusa. You had Starman.
Yeah,
King Kong, the Giant Panther, the Amazon, Kingsland, and the Great Puma.
Great Puma. And see, King Kong was based off of Killer Khan.
Yep.
From, the wrestler back in WWE. Back, when Saturday Night Main Event was like super hot then. Killer Khan, that's what he was based off of. Yeah, Giant Panther, he was the bruiser. He had that headbutt as his finisher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That was fun. I ain't either. So now we gotta talk about it. Is CM Punk done in pro wrestling?
I mean, where everything going now? Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, I'm gonna say, you may not know this, Darnell. They had Pro Wrestling Mid-South.
Yeah, I saw that.
They gave him an open invitation.
They can't afford him.
No.
I know they doing that to trying to get people to watch. Ain't no, if he comes, I'll be shocked. But you better put up your house.
Yeah, you gotta put up your house for Punk. He ain't just gonna accept.
But you know what? That would be a smart idea for him to go on the indies.
Go to the small stuff.
Go to the small stuff.
Like MLW.
And show them. I'll go even lower than that. Go to like these small companies like Pro Wrestling Mid-South and Wildcat Sports. I'll just throw a name out there.
Like Memphis Wrestling.
Yeah, Memphis Wrestling. Go to these small independents and build up so they can say, oh, you know, he's really trying to show us he really want to do this.
Right, and you talking about having a super veteran in that locker room.
And if they say CM Punk's coming, whether they like him or not,
they coming.
They coming.
I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis Wrestling would have get him over there. I would not be surprised. But they had to put an arm, a leg, and a foot for him.
For real.
But I wouldn't be surprised they would go out their way to get him. I mean, they had Enzo. I think they supposed to be having somebody else come later. I forgot who.
Nigga, I just saw it. Let me peep that while we talking. But yeah, I think that would be the smart thing for CM Punk.
Go to the lower. I'm talking about like the lower indie promotions. You can go to GCW if you want. GCW be good.
Oh Lord, he go to GCW.
Him and Effie and all them guys.
So they got. I see they got. What's today? We know Darren Young is coming soon.
That's right.
JTG. Which I might actually. That's September 17th. I might actually try to go to that just so I could thank him personally.
Yeah.
For that cameo he did.
Yeah.
So I might check that out. And they say you got Darren Young coming from. You know, he's part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I gotta give Memphis Wrestling credit. They bringing in some talent.
Yep.
No Dustin 5-star.
You got to be running that thing too.
Look at these shows.
Yeah, they on Channel 5. They finna be on Channel 5. Had some of his representatives, you know, I had that women's champion.
Yeah.
Over there, and they was, he told me, man, he said they were Channel 5 wrestling. He said it was right here in this studio. He said I was about 11 when I came here and watched Channel 5. Yeah. So they're going back to the roots, which I like. They're going back to Channel 5. I think they're going to have, I don't know if they're going to have studio wrestling there or not, but they may, I think, I'm not for sure. But it'll be nice.
Yeah.
And then with the talent they bringing in, you know, why not?
Well, now, we talked about this one before, but I'm glad somebody asked it because I wanted to come back to it. Now, should Trick Williams turn on Carmelo?
You know what? After being down with him all this time, and then with the little dissension they starting to have now, it could be time. And then Trick, you know, all that bottled up aggression, talking about, man, you held me down and all this other stuff. You know, I was all the way by your side. You know, you won the title, what did I get for it? Nothing, you know.
Right.
That type.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
at first, no, but now, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about that, especially when he asked him about do he think he can beat him. He can beat Ilya. And Trick made that face like he didn't say it, but he pretty much said, nah, you couldn't.
Yeah.
And that little conversation Ilya and Trick had,
yeah,
I see it happening.
Yeah, I see it too.
I see. Thoughts on Dennis Rodman being on Collision?
You know, that was a nostalgia thing. Not only for the wrestling part, but for Chicago. It made sense. Dennis Rodman won championships in Chicago.
Yep.
So, yeah, it made sense for him to be there. I mean, the Worm, even Tony mentioned that. He called him the Worm still.
The Worm, Rod the
They
Bar.
didn't say they didn't call him Rodzilla. But, yeah, it made sense for Dennis to be there.
They said it was 13 years since he was in that building.
Yeah. And won championships there. They remembered him. Yeah. In the United Center?
Yep.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Now, this was a good one. Is Samoa Joe the better Ring of Honor champion than Claudio?
Are we going back in the day or now?
No, we talking about now. Samoa Joe the television champion, Claudio's the Ring of Honor world champion. Is Samoa Joe the better champion?
I think so. Samoa Joe. I haven't seen Claudio do anything hardly
There it is.
since he won the belt. So Samoa Joe been defending.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, left and right. Just wrestle CM Punk. And, they were rekindling their rivalry for, all that bit of dust.
Like I say, he defended against Shane Taylor. He probably gonna win this world title eliminator.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Claudio. I know they got. I believe Ring of Honor got a show coming up. I got to look on that, but yeah, I mean, I forget sometimes he is champion.
Yeah.
He's definitely a better champion.
Yeah, you think you forgot he was a champion?
There's another good one.
Is a champion, yeah.
Yep.
He just ain't seen him. Yeah.
Now this is a good one. Would you compare the Creed brothers to a young Steiner brothers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Except the difference is the Steiners were more raw. The Creeds can get there, but the Steiners were more, they were rawer than the Creed brothers, but they're still similar.
Right.
And what you mean by raw, I'm talking about tough. Steiners were tough. Not only they could wrestle, they were tough as well.
And you got to think about the people they went through. Doom, the Road Warriors, Lugan, Sting.
They went up against the best of the best. Yeah.
The Midnight Express.
Midnight Express. Yes.
The Heavenly Bodies.
Heavenly Bodies, even the Quebecers.
The Quebecers. Money Inc.
Yes. They went through everything.
And we can't talk about all the teams in Japan.
Right. The Nugan the Giant, yeah.
I mean, they was going through them.
Mm-hmm. Right. But they'll get up there. I see a future for the Creed brothers, though.
Oh, yeah.
They are definitely the future of tag team wrestling.
Let's see. Thoughts on EC3 winning the NWA Championship?
I thought it was needed. I was rooting for EC3 because of everything that happened. I really was. The thing with WWE was just, oh man, that hurt me, man. He was too talented. They didn't know what to do with him, and then for him to culminate and win the NWA World Heavyweight title from Tyrus like that, it was just bittersweet, I was rooting for him.
I think he's gonna do well as champion.
Yeah.
Because the stipulation was, Tyrus lost, he had to retire.
Yeah, which was true. He said that retirement thing, that's for real.
Yeah, because he's 50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a good run with it, but I think EC3, this EC3, because he
control the narrative.
Because you say he's the overman because he's overman.
Yeah.
And I like the promo he cut when he won it. I think he's gonna have a good run.
Yeah. And I'm happy for him, man. I am.
And the NWA, if you've seen the new episode of Power, they got a whole new look. They even do their intros different, because they do it kind of like, if you look at AEW Fight Forever, how they'll just show them, they'll just come through and they'll just stop it right there. They don't take them all the way to the ring. That's how Power's doing their intros now. When the wrestlers come to the ring,
Yeah.
they'll have them come out the curtain, they'll pose a little bit, and they'll just stop it right there and go to the next wrestler. They don't even let them come all the way to the ring.
Right, because when he cut that promo, he almost cried.
I know, because a lot of people, making...
Emotion coming out of him.
Yeah, because, a lot of people talking about the NWA is not the same. I mean, it's better than what it was before.
Better what it was.
Before, especially before Billy Cole. Especially before, I'm going to go further than that. Even in the late 90s, the early 2000s, when the NWA was just out there, and pretty much anybody could have an NWA affiliation.
Like Scrap Daddy.
I mean, you had NWA this place, NWA that place. You had NWA promotion in these little bitty towns.
Yeah. And somebody actually bought the promotion now.
Right. And
it was a bunch of the NWA back in the day was just a bunch of promoters.
Yep. And like I said, them 99 2000 when pretty much anybody was winning the title.
Right.
We
can't think Scrap Daddy was anybody.
I'm talking about people that we were like, who?
Yeah.
If you go back and look at the last NWA champions in the last 20 years, take out TNA. Take out from for at least 2002, at least 99. I say about 98 to 2002. Before Jeff Jarrett took over. Go look at them champions. It was just jumping to like if me and you put up a company and we want to be part of NWA, we probably could. We could have had NWA Memphis.
Yeah, you're right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Pro Wrestling Mid-South an NWA promotion at one time?
Yep, sure was.
You had NWA Battle Zone in Nowhereville, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, because I drive through the lot, I go to New Orleans. It's in a small little town. I don't know where they wrestled at.
I think NWA Wildside, that was in Georgia.
That was one of the more popular ones.
Yeah.
That's how we got introduced to like AJ Styles and all.
Ron Killer when he was K. Malik Shabazz. Yeah.
And like I said, NWA, they got a new makeover for Power. They doing things, and to me, like I say, they know their place.
Right, and they going back to the old school. I'm talking about like Crockett, Georgia Championship Wrestling.
With the studio arena, with the smaller buildings.
That's blue ring.
Yeah, doing stuff like that. And you got to.
Billy Corgan, man.
You got to. You're working with different promotions. You using the Smashing. You bring NWA on tour with you when you perform with the Smashing Pumpkins.
Right. That's how you supposed to do it. Billy Corgan doing it the right way.
Now I believe they have a pay-per-view coming up. I think it's a newer pay-per-view coming up in October. It's a Halloween thing, but I'll talk about that when I get more details about it. But yeah, like I said, if you know your place, especially in the business, I mean, if he wanted to, he probably could do the big venues, but he'll probably lose money.
Right, and he doing right. He going. This is old school. This is nothing but old school. Little venues like this. He's keeping it old school, and that's the way it should be.
And the Beyonce look better on TV.
Yes.
Cause when
you go in there looking like a big dine at home.
Cause when I went back and I looked at Hard Times.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Siegel Center is very small on the outside. It look like if you look on the outside, you'll think a bunch of offices in it.
Yeah.
If you see it from the outside, you walk in, small venue, like a little theater, but it looked good on TV. And the way they shot it, because they used everything on the floor, and they only used one side of the second floor. They cut one side, cut half of the upstairs off, since the hard camera was in that direction. They blocked it off to make it look good. So they tell Everybody that was on one side upstairs just come around so everybody could be on one side.
Right.
But it looked good on TV.
Yeah. Have the, you see the chandeliers up on top,
Yeah.
like a banquet hall.
Yep.
And it's good.
And
Yeah.
like I said, you have to know, you have to know your limits.
Yeah.
And people knocking Billy Corgan for that, but that's smart though.
Yeah. The big venues cost money. And he finna lose money. He trying to gain money, not lose it.
Like I said, if you had a name that that can draw them type of people, then I'll see you doing it.
Yeah.
Like if CM Punk came to the NWA, I'll do that. I'll get a 10,000 seat place.
Right.
If LA Knight left WWE today and went back to NWA, which he'll never do, by the way, he made that clear.
He's finna get a 5-year contract.
He's about to be the top babyface on SmackDown,
which is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad he finally did it. He did it his way.
Yep. And
congratulate him for that.
And all it takes is patience.
Patience is a virtue. And man, he's finna reap the benefits.
So hopefully we get the talk show back.
Yeah.
I want the talk show. I already got the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the talk show.
Yeah. It would have been funny if the vest was attached to that shirt. The vest in the shirt.
Yep.
Attached.
That would have been funny.
Like Triple H's jean jacket.
Yeah.
Remember the jean jacket leather combo when he came back from the quarantine?
Yeah, them big shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I said, boy, I know you.
I'm surprised they not selling those still.
I'm like, boy, I know you hot.
Yeah. You got jean jacket and leather together.
And somebody told you it looked good, but nobody ain't gonna tell you that it don't.
Yeah, right. And Triple H was a monster. He came back, so nobody gonna tell him no.
I'm like, but in our minds, we definitely doing it.
Yeah, Triple H, you look real nice with that on.
And we walk away like,
Yeah.
We walking away like, Yeah. We ain't gonna tell him that he look goofy.
Right.
But yeah,
how do I look?
I'm saying you gaming. That's what you doing.
Game, yo.
Yeah, you are gaming.
Right.
But yeah, y'all, that's the Q&A for the night. Some good questions. Definitely some good questions.
Yeah.
Sitting up here, go watch the rest of this football game. Good game so far. A lot of people thought blowout. Nope, it's a 7-point game. Kansas City Chiefs in the second half. I gotta tell you something. That Maria Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
It was in that pregnancy making her put some meat on her. She look good. She look good pregnant.
Wow.
But she another need to take off them shoulder pads.
Yeah.
We know you tall. But take them shoulder pads off.
Right.
On your outfits. Talk to your outfitter.
Right, like you back in the 80s
with them Patti LaBelle specials.
Shoulder pads, yeah.
And everybody, when we were little, we used to just touch on them and lay them. They'd be comfortable in church.
Yeah, oh man, yes.
See, they don't know nothing about that. If your grandma auntie had them shoulder pads.
What y'all talking about? Yeah.
And you lay down, you lay right on that shoulder pad.
Yep.
And be good.
Sleep till it's over with, yeah.
Her shoulder don't be hurting or none of that.
Sure don't.
But yeah, we about to get up out here as always. Anything you want to tell the folks?
Well, actually, somebody just sent this in to me. They listening to the show right now.
Okay.
And they sent you a question. They said, Bad Superman. They said, do you think, these are two questions actually. You can quick fire these. Do you think Nick Bockwinkel would have fit well with the Four Horsemen?
Absolutely.
And Yeah. And what you think of Brian Pillman? Now they say it is official that he signed with WWE going to NXT.
Well, that first part, Nick Bockwinkel as a horseman. Oh yes, hands down,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. Now Brian Pillman in NXT. I'm with it as long as they don't try to turn him into Flying Brian.
Okay.
Flying Brian, anything in relation to his daddy. Let him,
Mm-hmm.
let him,
So it
let
gotta
him.
be completely separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we know who he is,
Mm-hmm.
but let him be him.
No
We,
loose cannon.
no loose cannons, no Cincinnati Bengal cutters. Just let him be him. He can
Yeah.
still do the air Pillman. He can do the moves.
Just don't dress. Don't
Don't
have to dress.
don't oversaturate the fact that Brian Pillman's son.
Right.
We
Okay.
know that already.
Right.
Don't make that the vocal point of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that was easy. But as far as Bob Winkle being a horseman, definitely. Now
Flair and Nick, yeah, together. Oh
you got
gosh.
Flair, Nick Bockwinkel, Telly Blanchard, and Arn Anderson.
Yeah. And
I
they
don't.
kind of similar, Nick and Rick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because Rick with the, he kind of crazy talking. Nick with the intellectual
Yeah,
talk.
with the big words.
Big words. You got Tully and On, doing what they do. Yeah.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
Nick Bob went on in the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
In the doing them. Oh yes. Luger would have never had a chance.
Right.
Barry probably wouldn't have neither.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't have seen them because they wouldn't have broke that up. They would have rolled that till the wheels fell off.
Oh yeah.
Cause that's too much greatness. They
Absolutely.
would have stayed been winning titles.
Now, which Bockwinkel we got? We got the early Bockwinkel or the later Bockwinkel?
No, that early Bockwinkel with the towel and with that towel.
Yeah.
When
Bobby Heenan had.
when Bobby Heenan when he was feuding with Hogan, yes, that Bockwinkel. Yeah, that Bockwinkel when he was fighting like in them late and nah, he was still good, but you go back to that early Nick Bockwinkel. Oh, that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah, that was a good question. Thank you for that. Cause he said he called it the quick fire.
That might not be a bad idea. We might make that a segment.
Yeah, just do some quick fire with yes, no, whatever. Yeah.
So we might add that.
I wanted to ask you that before he come on out of there. He just wanted to know what you thought of those two.
That was an easy one there. But yeah, y'all already know what it is this weekend. We got football regular season's already started. We got college football. We got pro football on Sunday.
And shout out to Dion's Coach Prime.
Yes.
With men.
Yeah. Shout out to them Buffalo. We got Victory Road tomorrow night. We got Impact 1000 on Saturday. We got Superstar Spectacle as well, which is a product that they're not really promoting.
Yeah.
But we got that. So we got 3 events going on. Like I said, was gonna do the predictions on those, but y'all wanted the Q&A. We gotta oblige.
We did one in a minute.
So we definitely gonna oblige you. But y'all go ahead and get y'all weekend started. I'm about to get up out here, go about the rest of this game. I know you about to probably grab a couple of the ladies and have them feed your grapes while you drinking on Chardonnay.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's already on deck.
The Chardonnay and the Ripple, we call it Short Nipple.
Right. It's on deck right now. Right.
So y'all do what it is that keep y'all chilled out. Y'all continue to support us on Bad Superman TV on YouTube, Spotify. Definitely follow us on Rumble. Let's get the followers up on Rumble and all these other platforms we on. We everywhere. So just type in Bad Superman TV. Type in the Get Snap Podcast. Promise you're going to find us. It's definitely that simple. And with that said, be safe. We love y'all. We out.
Peace.